Boudica. Even today, her name evokes defiance, freedom, and resistance against oppression. Yet behind the legend stands a woman we know very little about. Almost everything we have comes from two Roman writers, one near contemporary, the other writing generations later. Like so many enemies of Rome, her own voice is lost to history. From those Roman accounts, Boudica appears as a powerful queen of the Iceni tribe of eastern Britain, tall, fierce, and commanding a desperate war against the greatest empire of the ancient world. Even her name is uncertain, likely derived from a Celtic word meaning victory. In the 1st century AD, Britain was being reshaped by conquest. Rome invaded in 43 AD, and while some tribes submitted or adapted, others resisted. The Iceni lived in what is now East Anglia, a wealthy and sophisticated society skilled in metalworking, horse breeding, and trade. Far from crude barbarians, they belonged to a complex Celtic world whose traditions were passed down orally and are now largely lost. Their king, Prasutagus, chose cooperation over resistance. As a Roman client king, he adopted Roman customs and accepted Roman loans, hoping to preserve his people's independence. When he died around 60 AD, he left his kingdom jointly to the Roman Emperor Nero and his own daughters, likely expecting his wife Boudica to rule as regent. Instead, Roman officials moved to seize Iceni territory outright. Loans were called in with violence, lands were confiscated, nobles were enslaved. According to the historian Tacitus, when Boudica protested, she was publicly flogged and her daughters were raped. Any remaining illusion of Roman justice was shattered. Boudica called her people to war. Across southeastern Britain, tribes long divided by rivalry united under her leadership. Through the summer of 60 AD, weapons were forged and warriors gathered. When the uprising began, Roman Britain was dangerously exposed. The first target was Camulodunum, modern Colchester, the Roman capital of Britain and a powerful symbol of imperial rule. The city was undefended. It burned completely. Survivors fled to the temple of Claudius, holding out for 2 days before being slaughtered. A Roman legion sent to relieve the city was ambushed and destroyed. Next came Londinium. Barely a decade old, it was already Britain's largest settlement and a thriving commercial hub, yet it had no defenses. The Roman governor, Suetonius Paulinus, judged it impossible to hold and withdrew his troops. Boudica's army destroyed the city. A thick layer of ash beneath modern London still marks the event. Verulamium, near modern St. Albans, soon followed. 3 major Roman towns were wiped out. Tens of thousands were dead. For a moment, Roman control of Britain nearly collapsed. Paulinus regrouped along Watling Street, gathering every soldier he could. Though heavily outnumbered, he chose the battlefield carefully, a narrow defile with woodland on either side, where Roman discipline could neutralize the Britons' numbers. When Boudica's army arrived, confidence was high. Roman sources describe a vast force, accompanied by families watching from wagon trains behind the lines. The Britons attacked immediately, relying on sheer weight to crush the Roman front. But the terrain worked against them. Only a fraction of their force could fight at once, while Roman troops rotated ranks and held formation. As the battle wore on, the Britons were compressed together, their momentum broken. Then the Roman line advanced. Once retreat began, escape was impossible. The wagons blocked the rear. What followed was a slaughter. Roman sources claim tens of thousands were killed in the rout. Boudica escaped the battlefield. According to Tacitus, she later took poison rather than be captured. The fate of her daughters is unknown. The rebellion lasted only months, but its impact was immense. Rome flooded Britain with reinforcements, crushed remaining resistance, and imposed far harsher rule. The Iceni were broken, their lands reorganized, their culture gradually absorbed into the Roman world. To the Romans, Boudica was a rebel and a warning. To later generations, she became a symbol of resistance, identity, and defiance in the face of overwhelming power. Behind the legend stands a woman shaped by conquest and cruelty, one who, at the darkest moment of her people's history, chose to fight rather than submit.